100% implemented because we're still missing. We would like some changes to happen on that story, but as soon as we have it ready, we'll be able to pass it on to you. So that's it. So let me just walk through very quickly our meeting agenda for today. Let me share my screen. You guys see my screen?
Not yet. Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, cool. So so as usual, we'll do just a little retrospective on what happened. Maybe not since the last since the last call that we have, but more or less what's the point where we are at now. We'll do some. We have some update on the on the story we're working on. We had some questions that I'm not sure. I think I sent them to you. I'm not sure if you saw them. And then if you have any questions, and then I'd like to talk a little bit about point number 5. That's the priorities for the next sprint, and schedule the next meeting as well. So to start from the beginning in our retrospective, and I'd like to merge 1 and 2 because we've been tweaking and we've been doing some solving some bugs and doing some internal maintenance things that we had to do. We closed some stories this week, but nothing that I believe that we can present that there's no change graphically or in terms of process on them. And some of them we changed a little bit our development environment to be more similar to the production one. So yeah, so as I told you before, we started the story here, the story for creating a job seeker inside the application, and we do have a question about it. But maybe first let's take a look at a little bit on how this was implemented, and then we can talk a little bit about the questions that we have. Is that fine with you guys?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So, Patrick, can you walk us through?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so can you see my screen okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, so I will go ahead and I'll log in as an agency person. In this case, I'll log in as a job developer and a case manager, so I've got both roles. Oops, got a little problem there with that's interesting. Got a little user interface glitch there. But to give you an idea where we're going with that story is, we've added this button called Add Job Seeker right here. It shows up for any agency person, a job developer, a case manager, or the agency admin. Hopefully that's okay. It would be here, and of course, as you maneuver around, it stays in the same place. So there's no changes there. So when you click on that, what you do is you go to Job Seeker Registration, which is the same form we use for a job seeker coming in directly from the home page. And you would fill out, the agency person would fill out the information on behalf of the job seeker, including password and password confirmation. And then what would happen there is the same process that occurs if the job seeker did this directly themselves. They would get an email sent to them that looks like this. It says, thanks you for registering. And you click this link to go and you confirm your account, which basically says, okay, that's a real email address. And now you have an official established account. You can't use it until you've confirmed the account through the link. So the way that would happen is that, I mean, I've already clicked this because I've tested it, obviously. But let me just log out and see what might happen here. So I'll confirm my account. And now what happens is, this says we've confirmed your email address. So that's a real email address because you've come back by clicking the link. And now the person logs in as the job seeker with the credentials that were provided or created by the agency person. So what I will do here is, I use this fake email address, and I used, let's see if I can remember what password I used. And then I'm in. So I go to the home page. Obviously, I haven't applied to any job. Here's some job opportunities. Here's my profile. I can edit my profile. This is the stuff added by the agency administrator or the agency person. So the reason I'm showing you this, Chet, is obviously you can now, as an agency person, create an account for a job seeker. When they click on the link in the email that they get, they're going to need to know the password that you created for them. You're aware of that, right? Otherwise, this won't work.
Okay.
That make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, so somehow you'll
Can you
just
hear
have to let, yes, I can hear you now.
Okay.
You'll have to let them know that you've created this account and to use XYZ password or whatever it is, and then they can use the account as well. I know for testing purposes, you don't really care. You still will have to send that email to an email address that you have control over, because you do have to go and click this link on the email to activate the account. Because it requires a confirmation that we have a real email address for the person. Do you have a Gmail account you can use or something like that for this purpose? Scott?
I can create one.
So,
just one question, Pat. Do we really need the user active in order to start performing actions over it, or we just need the user active in order for it to log in?
That's a good question. It could be that if we just have the account created that hasn't been confirmed yet, that we can still do things on behalf of the job seeker. To apply to a job on behalf of a job seeker, the job seeker has to opt in. Let me see, how do I do that? I think the default is this, which I'm showing at the bottom. I hope you can see that. When basically the default is the job seeker says a job developer can submit job applications on my behalf. If that's the default, and it still is the default even if the email hasn't been confirmed, then you can go ahead and start doing things on behalf of your test job seeker without clicking the link. But to be consistent, to be consistent with how it's actually going to work, I'd suggest set up your Gmail account. You can, in Gmail, my Gmail account is patmbolger@gmail.com, but after the name, Pat M. Bolger, if you add plus and then any string after that, Gmail just strips that out. They don't care what it is. So you can use that to create a dozen fake email addresses with the same root, the same real Gmail account, and it'll all be delivered to your real Gmail account, which is nice.
The only issue with that is that if you want to start running the application and doing some production things with it, we would be adding stuff that's not real to the database, right?
We'd be adding fake users, fake emails.
Yeah, and we cannot change the user email, right?
Yep, right.
So this is like the only caveat of the way things are being set up is, in one hand, if you want to start doing things and production things with your job seekers, then you need to use their email address and ask them to confirm if it's correct or not. If you don't, you can use what Patrick's just described. So I don't know how do you want to proceed more or less with this. Do you have any idea, Chad?
This the Google Hangout was freezing a lot.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
But I was getting bits and pieces. It was real chopped up. I don't know what's wrong with the connection, but are you asking me, do I want to create other email addresses, test email addresses, or
So
use I know Patrick was trying to show me the Google, a way you can just add a plus to it and add many as a test, right?
Yeah, so the issue that we have is if we want to use this as the real environment, you need to add the real email address for each job seeker, because you cannot change your email address in the system itself after everything is started. So it depends on how you want to use the platform. If you want to start working with it and start building data on it, then you need to tell the job seekers, so I'm gonna add you to my system. You guys will receive an email, and I need you guys to activate it.
I think we can change the email after the initial email. The account is created. Let me just try that now to confirm, because it's been a while since I've actually played with this. So obviously to do anything like, actually I don't have to log in. I'm not changing my password. Let me see. Update job seeker. Okay, please check your inbox to update your email address. Look at that. And so what's happening here is we delay send an email by at least 10 seconds, so we don't have the user at the browser waiting for the email to go out. So we have to wait a little bit here. Not only that, but I think, oh, I got that working, don't I? Yeah, I do. Okay. Sorry for the delay. I hadn't anticipated showing this, so. Well, anyway, I don't know if it's going to come through or not, but it should. If not, I'll have to look into it. There may be a bug there.
Okay, so in theory, we can change the email address, right?
It looks like we can. Yep.
Okay.
Let's assume we can.
This being said, you can if you create an email address from Gmail, you can use what Patrick just showed you to create your job seekers email, not email, but to create the accounts. And then when we're comfortable with the application and we want everybody to start using it, we just need to update to update each user that we have in the system with their correct email address.
Can you both hear me right now?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
For some reason, the system is freezing up a lot. I don't know if you have a once we're done, you can send me a screenshot of how you want me to possibly set it up, or like you said, Joel, if you wanted me to use real email addresses of people to build up a database, I can. But if you want me to test it first, I guess, which makes sense, then we can do it the way that Patrick is talking about. If you can send me some screenshots or something, because right now my screen is just black right now.
Okay, we'll do that.
Yeah.
We'll try to do that.
All right.
Okay.
We'll confirm that first. We'll confirm that the email can be changed, and if the email can be changed, we can use phony email addresses, and then afterwards we can change the user. But we'll confirm that, and then we'll send you a way for you to do this using your Gmail account.
Yeah. Let's assume that we can change the email. There seems to be glitch today, but we'll work on that. We'll fix that.
Cool.
Okay.
Are you still there, chat?
I see something that says update your profile.
Oh, okay.
I don't
So, what did you hear, Patrick?
I heard Patrick, what he said. He said we're gonna try the email.
Let's do it. Let's do it like this. When we finish this, we'll check to make sure that we can update the email address, and then we'll send you an email explaining how you can create your phony email addresses for you to start using the system without having the job seeker's email address, for example.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Cool. So that goes. So let me just reshare my screen. So that goes back to our. Yes, Patrick.
I was going to say another way we can do this is that maybe tomorrow, Chet, we can connect up for 10 minutes, do a hangout, and go through the process with you banging the keys. And by then, I'll have confirmed that we can change the email address of a job seeker, which is important to what we're talking about here.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to try to connect up tomorrow, we can arrange a time at the end of the call here, a mutual time.
Well,
Did you get that, Chet?
no, I lost you guys completely. I lost you completely. Last thing I heard was 10 minutes. Can we meet 10 minutes tomorrow to test the steps?
Yes.
Okay, let's connect tomorrow in 10 minutes. Yeah.
Okay, so you guys have to connect you two because tomorrow I have a meeting at lunchtime. Is that okay, Patrick?
Yeah.
Fine.
So, Chet, if you just let me know when you're available. We're both in the same time zone, I think. Yeah, we are. So morning would be good for me. I believe tomorrow morning is good for me.
Yeah. So what time tomorrow morning? What time do you think?
9 o'clock, okay?
9 o'clock is fine.
Okay. I'll send a link to the Hangout at that time.
Okay.
Great.
Cool. So this is gonna be hard if we are if we're having problems of connection. So basically, okay. So I think we answered more or less our questions that we currently have. So I think we're good. So do you currently have any question for us?
Let me see. Not pertaining towards the actual function of the software, but about Elliot. He just called me right before our meeting and asked me, did we have an updated PowerPoint? And I told him I don't think we have an updated PowerPoint. It's pretty much on various documents of how the software is being developed. So pretty much that's on my agenda as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
That's we don't have we didn't update the PowerPoint and we have so the links that I sent you the other day are all the information that we have about the system plus the PowerPoints that you sent me at the beginning.
That's what I told him. He said as much description as possible, and I told him that's the description. So I'll call him back and I'll let him know.
Okay. Cool. If you need anything else, just tell me.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. So I'd like to schedule in 2 weeks meeting as well at the same time. Is that okay? The 1st of May.
That's fine.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Cool. That's cool. Let me see. So, can you? I'm going to place a link in the chat box. Can you click on it, please? Chat. So you should see the same thing that I'm. Yeah, you should see the same thing that I'm just showing in my screen. That I'm sharing in my screen.
It's buffering when it's getting there. Probably just got to reset my internet next time. But internet is terrible today. I don't know what's going on. I
Okay,
did
so
click on the link, but it's still buffering.
Okay, so while that is doing its thing, I think we can talk a little bit. So what we wanted to start doing, maybe in the next meeting that we have, is I'd like to have this column on the left side. You see the backlog one, the one that's called backlog here. Do you see it in my screen?
Right now, it just says ironing your waffle.
No, in my screen.
Or
If you, can you see my screen?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so
your screen right now.
yeah,
Voice, but go ahead.
Yeah, my screen. This column that says backlog here.
Yep, see that.
Cool. So this currently has 68 of these stories here, of these, I'm not sure how this is called, these thingies, post-it-like things, that has 68 of them. And we kind of need to give some order to this, because the process is we go into this backlog, we move them in here, and then we start working on them. And we go from the top to the bottom to the last one. And we kind of need to understand, in terms of the software itself, what it's the most important next thing for us to tackle. Right? This is not like a list set in stone. For example, if there's anything that occurs and the order changes, doesn't really matter. Or if there's something that we missed and that we want to add to the list, we can add it and we can put it in whatever place we need it to be. So this list in here on the left side is going to be always moving, and the priorities will be always changing. But to start off, we need to understand if the stories that are inside of this, if they make sense, and if it's something that we kind of need to work on next. So for example, this story here, it says session stored in the database. And as a user, when the Cruncher restarts and I have a session created, I want to be able to continue doing requests without logging in again. So, for example, this story is something that we need, but it's not the next most priority thing for us to work on. Because the system is all working. If you restart the Cruncher side, the application is smart enough to reconnect and re-log in and everything. But at the same time, if we want to move to, this should change. So this is a thing that should be changed, but it's not really important because it's not affecting the current, the behavior of the current application. So we kind of need to look at these stories, and first of all, we need to see if we have any question about it, and we can talk about that. And then we need to try to prioritize them on the left side. And if you, I sent you this link because if you can see the stories here, I can tell you. So just tell me which order do you prefer these stories on, and things like that, and we can adjust this list. Or if you couldn't, I can create an Excel file with this list and we can rearrange it.
That'd probably be best if you can an Excel file for right now.
Okay.
Like your screen just popped up, what you were talking about.
Yeah.
The waffle screen came up. You see that, the link to 16. But yeah, if you can create an Excel, that'd probably be best right now. For some reason, I have a glitch.
Okay. So I'll try to create. I'll try to create an Excel with this. I'm going to create a Google Doc with this, and I'll share it with you. And then in there, you can just. It's easier for you to drag it up and down. You could use this application as well, but you'd have to create an account in another system in order to use it. If you're interested, we can help you out how to do this. I can tell you how to do this and help you out. If you really don't care, at least for now, we can just use a Google Sheet.
Okay.
Okay. So this is what we would like you to do. So I'll try to export this into an Excel file and send it to you. And we would like to see if we can have this ordered for next week. Or if you have any question on any point, we can also discuss that. Okay.
Okay.
Cool. So I don't have anything else for today's meeting. Do any of you have anything they'd like to add or talk about?
Not at the moment. I guess I can gain a little bit more information tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully the internet should be a lot better.
Yeah.
Just an update on my side. When I changed that password, the email for that job seeker, the confirmation email did come through while we were talking. I don't know why it took so long. It should be much faster, but maybe related to the internet connectivity problems we're having here. But it did get through, so that does work.
We can change the username, the
Password.
Sorry, the email.
The email
The
address.
email is the username, but yeah, okay, cool. So that's good.
It is the same. Yeah.
Okay, so do you guys want to keep the meeting for tomorrow? Or
Yeah, I think we need to have chat exercise creating a job seeker with an email address that he's using and go through the whole process.
Okay. So
It won't take long.
It won't take long, but it's better to have a better internet connection. Let's hope that tomorrow everything is better.
Yeah, it's not good for now. That's for sure.
Okay, cool. So anything else? No?
No, not for me.
No? Cool. So
No,
I have,
not for me. Y'all be safe out there, you know.
Mhm.
Watch it. Take care.
Okay,
Absolutely.
so
You
I'll
too.
have the action point to send you the link for the Excel document, and we'll talk. Okay. Bye. See you guys.
Bye now.
All right.